Texas League Baseball is next. And a good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you into a live broadcast of Texas League Baseball. And now here's the star of the show, the one, the only, John Baker. Thank you, Bob, and a good evening, everybody. We'd like to welcome you to Friday Night Baseball here on the show. It is the fourth game of our six-game set between the visiting Wichita Wind Surge and your San Antonio Missions. Well, tonight is $2 Dr. Pepper night here at the ballpark, and yes, the Flying Chanclas involved in their uniforms for the second and final time in this homestand. Two teams continue the series tomorrow evening at 7:05 as we'll have post-game fireworks. After the ball game, just sit back, relax, enjoy the best gosh darn fireworks show that there ever is. Sunday is Bark in the Park Sunday, presented by our pet supply places, and so far pretty good on that. Missions will head north to Frisco and take on the Rough Riders Tuesday through Sunday this next week. And then back home on Tuesday, May 26th, taking on the visiting Corpus Christi Hooks. Go online now at samissions.com, purchase and print your tickets from home. Also, follow us all season long with Bally Live and here on YouTube, and that way you are good to go. Well, anyway, joined in the booth by my partner, Bob. How you doing, Bob? I'm doing good. How are you, John? Doing marvelous. I bet you're doing good too, and so far everybody in the audience doing good, coming out to a ball game, having a pretty good week, and so far my first full week being 33 years old, and so far it's pretty good. And anyway, as we get going in here, and yeah, so far pretty good. I don't feel old at all. Well, what do some people say? Do they tell you, hey, old guy, how you doing? I'm not that old. But anyway, today we have the weather forecast. It is partly cloudy. Could go mostly cloudy by the later part of the evening. And so far, going to be pretty nice as we go through a Friday night. Well, Saturday looks like partly cloudy skies. Sunday is gray skies as we get ready to wrap up this homestand. And after that, we'll head on the bus and head to Dallas to take on the Frisco Rough Riders. A 6-game set starting this next week. And so far, a pretty good one. Well, anyway, we're just about set to go for the top half of the first inning, but first we'll go ahead and get off to the pregame show with my partner Bob, and we'll talk about last night's game. Well, anyway, the Wichita Wind Surge won it by a final score of 1-0, and that one lone run was the one run that won the ball game. And so far, San Antonio tried to get in, and they had a walk, I should say. And anyway, they had a walk, and then a base hit came in, first and second, 2 outs in the inning, and then a fly out straightaway center. And right there, the ball game just ended. And anyway, it was a lot to take in after San Antonio. They went through 9 innings, not even one run on the board, a lot of zeros. And so far, yeah, they lost. And evidently, it was Wichita winning by that one run, and they pretty much won the ball game right after that. And so anyway, you know, they took the final score by 1-0. And so far, what's your reaction about that, Bob? Well, I got to say, John, it was not an easy thing to see, but most evidently, Wichita got a pretty good ordeal out of it. And so far, they came in and they got something going. Now they did. Well, anyway, brand new night as we join you up this weekend. And so far, we are going to have a pretty good time as we get going here today. And so far, a pretty good night in the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday left with these two ball clubs. And so far, Wichita will head back home, and we'll see who they play on Tuesday. And so far, they'll head home to take on the Tulsa Drillers in that sixth game next week. San Antonio heading to Frisco. Midland will head to Corpus Christi. Springfield at Arkansas. Northwest Arkansas to Amarillo. So pretty nice for the Sod Poodles and the Naturals as they get ready to go. But anyway, let's take you now down to the field as we present you tonight's game. And this one brought to you in part by Dr. Pepper. And it looks like we're having a little technical difficulty. So we will be right back on this one as we bring you the broadcast. All right, that looks like that'll do her. We're having a little technical difficulties getting the sound out there at the ball game, but most evidently we got things working really good. I think one of the connections was loose. But anyway, just about set to go on this Friday night. So far, a partly cloudy evening as we get set to go for Game 4 of this six-game set. Well, one last time looking at the Flying Chanclas in this homestand. Wichita back in their road grays and getting ready to go. Miguel Mendez about ready to go for San Antonio here tonight. 101 on a four-seam fastball, slider, changeup, and a two-seam fastball. We'll get the call for the Flying Chanclas here this evening. The leadoff batter is Maddox Houghton as he'll come in for the wind surge. And we are just about set to go. Here's the pitch. That one is a high flyer. Anybody can't get it, and that's going to be getting down for the base hit. Going to first, going to second, going to third. And that is a leadoff triple for Houghton. And man, I tell you, to lead off this ball game, that's where it comes to. And now Wichita has their first run 90 feet away from scoring in. Here is Jorel Ortega as he'll take a strike inside. It's the count now, 0-1. We're fully underway here tonight. San Antonio, fourth of this six-game set between the two ball clubs. Between the Wind Surge and San Antonio here tonight. Here's the 0-2. And that one shot foul. The count now at 0-2. Still hanging on is Ortega. And that one right there, foul. They're still hanging in the count now, 0-2. That one is high in the air, straight away, out in foul grounds. And still holding on. No balls, 2 strikes. And that is foul. The 0-2. High fly in the air, straight away, up to right. And not enough to push across the run at third as the runner at third is told to stand still. And he's still holding on at the third base area. Houghton, Ortega, Gonzalez, middle. or should I say the leadoff three, Emick, Mendez, Lugo middle, Culpepper, Spain, and Olivar will round it out for Wichita. Gabriel Gonzalez coming in. A runner at third, one away here in this half inning. Here's the pitch, and that one is a high pop-up. The catcher getting under it, and he'll make the play for the out. So that was a easy fly out. And that'll bring up Billy Amick, who comes in. And the pitch is right there in the end for a strike. The count now at 0-1. Well, one more time seeing the flying chanclas. And the time that we do have here in this homestand. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and that's a high pop-up straight away. The first baseman, Sanabria, will get it, and that will do for the half inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head now to the bottom half of the first inning, and it is no score through the half inning. Darren Bowden, a right-hander, getting loose out on the mound for Wichita. 4-seam curveball, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball will get going for the wind surge. And that'll bring in the first batter, the shortstop, Clay Dungan. Dungan coming in is ready to go. And so far, pretty good. Here's the first pitch. And that is right there. Ground ball, bouncy, right there. Second to first in time. And that is out number 1. And with that, let's give the San Antonio starting lineups. Dungan, Roberts, and Salas will be the first lead on 3. Sanabria, Carpathios, Fabian middle. Verdugo, Murphy, and Castañon will round it out. Center fielder is Kai Roberts as he'll come in. Pretty good crowd we have here tonight, Bob. Everybody just coming in, and especially our visitors from Wichita, Kansas. Wichita took on Amarillo last week. Now this week, San Antonio. And now on Tuesday next week, they'll take on Tulsa there at their ballpark. The Porch is a really good ballpark. What do you say about that there, Bob? I got to say, San Antonio, starting the month of June, the missions are actually up at the Porch. That is right. Well, most evidently starting 6 games for the month of June at Wichita, then coming back home, taking on the Frisco Rough Riders, and then gone for 12. Man, that's going to be rough, being 2 weeks on the road. First stop will head to Corpus Christi and then 6 in Arkansas. That is for sure. That one is a high pop-up straight away. Not in time. That will land in left field for a base hit. Even though Wichita has 12 games with San Antonio, so far 4th meetup of the year between the two ball clubs. Here is Ethan Salas as he'll take a 2-seamer outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Proud sponsors tonight, San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo, West Creek Trail Rides, Henry's Puffy Tacos, Whataburger. Many more on the way in this one. And that one's going to be crushed high in the air, straight away up the right field, and that is out number 2. So if you are new to the San Antonio area and you want to see the rodeo next year, make sure you get your tickets by right now for the February 11th home opener. Here's Romeo Sanabria as he'll take a curveball inside. The count now 0-1. So far this year, the Missions have teamed up with the San Antonio Rodeo. It's pretty good to see a lot go on, and they're pretty good on that. They've also teamed up with the San Antonio best place there ever is, West Creek Trail Rides. No runs on a hit, no errors, and one left as we head now second inning. And it is no score through one. The designated hitter is Hendry Mendez. He'll lead it off for the second for Wichita. And the pitch. That one is a high pop-up, straightaway and short. And that is out number one. One inning down, at least 8 more to do. And now here is Andy Lugo. Lugo coming in, ready to go. Wind up and the pitch. That one's chopped foul, and the count now 0-1. 0-1. That one right there up to second baseman Castañon as he'll make the play for out number 2. Darlene Culpepper coming in now. His brother C.J. Culpepper is also a pitcher, so that's pretty good. They both play on the same team for Wichita. Brothers to each other, as we said yesterday in the live stream. No balls and 2 strikes to count. And here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss, and they got him. And that will conclude the half inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody on for the wind surge. And we're 2.5, still no score. Here's the West Creek Trail Rides right fielder, Braden Carpathios. So far, the 5th batter of the evening coming in. Boy, a lot of clouds starting to come into San Antonio, and so far on a Friday night as we start the weekend, this is pretty good. Here's the 1-0. And that one's going to be crushed. High in the air, deep to right field, and the right fielder will run it down for out number 1. Gee, I thought that was going to be a home run for a second. Yeah, I thought that was going to be one for sure. Especially that right fielder just ran it down out there and so far got the out. 6-0 batter, Albert Fabian. Take that one outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 delivery. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be a foul ball, and the count now 1-1. Here's the 1-1 offering. That one right there, straight away, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Straight away center. And that right there was a pretty good base hit, I tell you. Yeah, it sure was, John. Look at that instant replay by Albert Fabian. He does really good with a baseball. Now all they have to do is get on into a home run cycle or a base hit. It don't matter what. Rosemond Verdugo coming in now. It's a high pop up straight away up in center. And that's just a wasted out right there. But all the more reason is, winning the ball game at the end of the day, that's what San Antonio needs to focus on. Yeah, for sure. The left fielder is Kai Murphy. As he strides up next for San Antonio. And the pitch. That one right there. Now to play foul. The count now 0-1. But with the clouds, we'll definitely see a orange sky tonight. Here's the 0-1. That one straight away. Up in center. And that is out number 3. No runs on a hit, no errors. 1 left on for San Antonio. 3rd inning coming up, and it's no score through 2. Top of the 3rd for Wichita. Here's right fielder Garrett Spain. Spain coming in is ready to go, and the pitch is right there and in for a strike, and the count now 0-1. Wichita being the first team to go to South Texas, taking on San Antonio, and now two more North divisions joining the fray. That is Northwest Arkansas and Springfield. Arkansas and Tulsa doesn't come to San Antonio, sadly. That is just rough around the edges, and it's been that way for 4 years. Arkansas and Tulsa came in the year 2022. And that'll bring in Ricardo Olivar. Olivar coming in, 1 out, nobody on in this half inning. And that's right there and in for a strike. The count now 0-1. But the 3 North Division teams was Wichita, Springfield, and Northwest Arkansas. They came to San Antonio in all of the years. Go right there, straightaway third, in time, and that's out number 2. As third baseman gets it down to Sanabria to get Olivar for the second out. Maddox Houghton coming in, 1-for-1 triple last time around. Boy, so far he had that triple. And evidently he was at third, and then the 3 outs came and left him stranded during the top of the first inning. It's right there and in for a strike. The count now 0-2. Good thing as San Antonio didn't give up a run in the early evening of this ball game. So right there, that is fouled off, and the count now still 0-2. Hanging on is 1-for-1 is Houghton. And that is right there. Slider got him. And that is 3.5 innings, still no score. No runs, hits, or errors for Wichita. And it's 3.5, still no score. The second baseman is Marcos Castañon. As he's about set to go, here's the pitch, and that is a ball outside. It's the count now at 1-0.
Take your base.
And that was him getting hit. And, yep, that got him right in the butt. The count now. 3 clears, and here is the leadoff batter, Clay Dungan. That one downstairs, and the count now 0-1. So far, look like a little bit of a rain shower out there. Could have a sprinkle or two here at the ballpark, and so far nothing in the way of rain until next week. Well, we're up in our trip to Frisco. That is right there. And they got him. And that's a double play. Man, and that is something you don't see every day. As the runner from first, then the other runner headed from the plate to first, just literally tried to make a run for it, but evidently they both got picked off right at the same time. Here's Sky Roberts, right there in the end for a ball to count now 1-0. That's a wicked play, wasn't it? Yeah, it sure was, John. Very wicked. That one right there, high in the air, straight away. That is foul grounds. And that is a foul ball. 1-1 the count. 1-1, here's a pitch. That's outside, and the count now is 2-1. So far, series continues tomorrow. Game 5 of our 6-game set. Last evening ball game here in the homestand coming tomorrow night. That one is crushed high in the air, straight away, up to right as it goes, and right to the right fielder as that's the inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on for San Antonio as we head to the 4th inning, and no scores through 3. So we're back here at the ballpark as we get things going with Jorel Ortega as we lead it off for the 4th when we come back. Now set to go for the top of the fourth, right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Welcome you back to San Antonio as we get set to go for the fourth. Jorel Ortega leading it off for Wichita. And is taken in the side of strike, and the count now 0-1. So far, other ball clubs going tonight. No rain delays, no nothing going. Springfield and Tulsa, Frisco at Midland. Wichita at San Antonio, Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas, Amarillo, and Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi starting a 12-game set. Lead off 6 with Amarillo, 6 against Midland next week. So pretty good as so far we see these ball clubs is going really well. Just absolutely love a 12-game homestand. This would be the first to last of us having a 12-game. Most likely just staying here and having 2 weeks being at home. Yeah, I gotta say, John, absolutely right. But even though heading to Frisco next week, first meetup of the 2026 year in the Rough Riders organization. And right there, called third strike, and they got him. And that's the third strikeout for Miguel Mendez. Billy Amick coming in now, the third baseman, 0 for 1 at pop out. Here's the pitch. And that's a high popper right there in the crowd as that will go foul. No balls, 1 strike the count, and the pitch. That's downstairs, and the count now 1-1. Dr. Pepper, $2 is all night long here at the ballpark, so make sure you come in and get yourself an ice cold one. On high in the air, straight away. Up in time is the left fielder, Murphy, as he'll range to make the play. And with that, the side is retired, so no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody on for Wichita. As we get going, bottom of 4, and still no score. Well, here is Ethan Salas as we welcome you back to our broadcast. 0 for 1 the line out as he gets set to go for San Antonio here. Starting to see that orange hue in the clouds. That is pretty good. Already 4.5 innings worth of no score. And so far, bet the fans are getting pretty bored to see what happens next. Yeah, I gotta say, John, it's a deciding factor in this game. Yeah, for sure. That's right there. Now to play found. The count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Here's a pitch by Bowden, and that is popped foul. The count now 1-2. Right off the catcher's mitt right there. And that is right there. Bouncy ball straight away up to right field, and that's through for a hit. Boy, and San Antonio finally getting something going. Now they just have to get in the run column. Yeah, that is for sure, John. It's not looking pretty good when you literally just have to wait for 4.5 to see if they get a base hit or not. Romeo Sanabria coming in will take a ball. And the count now 1-0. So it's 1 ball. And no strikes to count now. As we get going in this one. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off, and the count now 1-1. So, yeah, we're starting to see a orange sky here this evening. Clouds and sun. And that is right there, straight away up to short, and they robbed a base hit from him. Man, tell you one thing, John, that was rough around the edges when you look at it, but evidently that could have been somebody getting on second base in scoring position. Well, that is for sure. That's right there, the curveball, and the count now 0-1. Is 0 for 1, a line out by the right fielder, Carpathios. No balls and 1 strike the count. And here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. So far, Corpus Christi's having their 6th game against Amarillo. The next week they'll start against Midland. That's the Midland Rockhounds, which we played last week before this team. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now here for Braden Carpathios. And the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. They got it right by him for the out. So far you look, 33%. It's most evidently everything on the screen is up to that area. Here's a designated hitter, Albert Fabian. Fabian coming in is ready to go. Still a runner left at first, and that's going to be a ground ball straight away short. Flip it to first in time, and that ends the inning. Well, no runs on a hit, no errors. 1 left on for San Antonio as we head to the 5th inning, and still no score. Well, this broadcast brought to you in part by West Creek Trail Rides, our proud sponsor of Missions Baseball. Here's a designated hitter, Henry Mendez. And look at there, Miguel Mendez, Henry Mendez. These are brothers from different teams. So far, pretty good. That's going to be right there, the count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. They got him. First baseman is Andy Lugo. 0 for 1, a lineout. Don't forget, the next home games come on Tuesday, May 26th through the 31st as we take on Corpus Christi. Here's the pitch. That one is got high in the air straight away. The left fielder, Murphy, will run it down. And boy, that ball nearly headed for the ground. Here is Kylene Culpepper. 0 for 1, a strikeout. Well, I hope everybody's enjoying themselves during this homestand. And so far, come out to Nelson Wolf Stadium and have yourself the best time. Located off of Highway 90 and the historic 90. Highway 90 heads towards the Del Rio area. And here's the 0-2. That one right there is a liner straight away, and that's going through for a base hit all the way to the outfield. And still no throw as they try to search for it out there and finally get it going. And Culpepper is out there at third. Boy, I tell you one thing, John, that is a well-hit base hit. And so far, you know, that center fielder, Guy Roberts, trying to look for it. For sure. Here is Gary Spain now, as that is going to be out of play foul. And the count now at 0-1. 0 for 1 pop out last time around here in this game. And that's in for a strike, and the count now 0-2. He powered that 4-seam fastball. And right there and in, just getting it going. Here's the 0-2. And that's going to be right there, high in the air, straight away. Up in time is center fielder Roberts as he'll run and lunge to make the play. And with that, the side is retired. No runs, a hit, no errors. 1 left stranded at third as we're bottom of 5, straight ahead. And we are 5.5, no score. Third baseman Rosemond Verdugo coming in now as lean it off in the bottom half of the 5th inning here for San Antonio. And that's going to be a high pop-up right there and out of play. And the count now 0-1. One's down and inside for a count now 0-2. balls and 2 strikes to count now as Verdugo getting in.
No ball.
And that one's down and in for the count now, 1-2. 1-2, here's the pitch. And still that goes foul. Just love an orange and blue sky, but evidently it's all the clouds that give it that great texture of seeing a sunset. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. That is outside. The count now 2-2. This game is going pretty fast, isn't it, Bob? Gotta say, a lot of zeros on the scoreboard and not a lot of home runs between the both sides. That one's high fly in the air, straight away, up to right field, and that is out number 1. You know, a lot of times when you have a lot of zeros on the scoreboard, it's just a well definition of not so many runs. Unlike yesterday, for a Thursday night, that was a 1-0 score, but Wichita come out and win it. Top of the 3rd. That one's a high flyer straight away, and it drops the lands out there in center field for the base hit. Crowds are getting a little bit antsy when you don't have any runs on the scoreboard. You know, Bob, I wholeheartedly agree with you. Marcos Castañon coming in. About set to go here in this one. And that's downstairs. The count now 1 ball and no strikes. Just a nice hue coming onto the ballpark, and absolutely love how the clouds just glow that orange color. Here's a 1-0. And that one's going to be high in the air straight away, up in right field. And the right fielder gets going. And no way. Now they're going to pick him off, and that ends the inning. A terrible mistake there, as that will be the side retired. So no runs on a hit, no errors, nobody left on. As we go to the 6th inning, and it's still no score. Well, we look at the start of this ball game. A lot of hits, but no runs accounted for. As Wichita and San Antonio have not given so much in the way of home runs, but the hits, I would say yes to. Most evidently trying to get something going. Well, about set to go for the top half of the 6th inning. Still no score. A lot of zeros through the first 5 innings here tonight. Great crowd we have here of a lot of fans. As here is Ricardo Olivar. Olivar, the 9-hole hitter, coming in, will take a strike inside. It's the count now, 0-1. After tonight, 2 games left with Wichita, and that is in for a strike. The count now, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and the pitch. High in the air, straight away, up to right field. Carpathios has it in plain sight, and that's out number 1. Game 10 of this 12th game. And now here is Maddox Houghton. Here's the pitch, and that is a high flyer, straightaway center. Roberts has eyes on it, and that is out number 2. 3 up, 3 down innings, and you still go on. Even if you get into the bottom half of the 9th inning, it's still no score, and then get into extra innings. Joriel Ortega getting in, as he'll take a strike, and it's the count now, 0-1. 5 strikes in total of this half inning. Now here's the 0-1 delivery, and that is going to be popped foul. The count now, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count now to Ortega. And that's a high pop-up. The first baseman, Sanabria, will have it in sight. And that will do for the half inning. And no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on for Wichita. And we're about set to go as we get things rocking and rolling. Here is Clay Dungan, 0 for 2 and 2 groundouts. As it's getting earlier into the evening, as the sky glows orange and downtown fixing to light up and stuff. Here's the 0-1. And that's a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. So far, hopefully we'll have this in our brand new ballpark. An evening where we can have the sunset, the buildings, and a lot of other stuff. And that's going to get by him, and that's through for a base hit. Runner going to first, going to second, and he's going to go. He's got a triple, and no, hold up everything, and he's back in. What a way. That will be an E9 on the right fielder. Well, there you go. Finally, something fixing to go here. And gotta say, John, that was a pretty good base hit there. You know, Ty Roberts coming in, and he could get a base hit to get us home a run. And that is going to be pelted. That is deep. And here we go. Enough to score in the run. And San Antonio on a sacrifice fly gets the run in to score. And it's 1-0 Missions. Ethan Salas, the catcher, coming in, 1 for 2 single. Nicely played right there at that third base area. And all they needed was to hit that ball, get him home, and so far that's what they did. The master plan came in perfectly. Yeah, it sure did. Here's the 0-1. And that's going to be right there. Liner straight away up to left field, and that's through for a hit. Boy, Wichita getting that error, and I don't think they're happy about it. Well, the manager is coming out now for the wind surge, as that will do for the starter here tonight. And so far, disappointed he couldn't hold them any longer. And here is Luis Quinones, as he's coming in to pitch for Wichita. 4-seam curveball, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball coming into the broadcast here tonight. And Romeo Sanabria being the first man up here. Bottom half of the 6th inning is 0 for 2 fly out and a line out. Runner at first, that is run number 2. And that is a swing and a miss. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and the pitch, swing and a miss. They got him. Blew it right by him for the out, and that is out number 2. Braden Carpathios, the right fielder, coming in, is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a line out. Just a pitch-perfect evening as we go through this one, and that one's going to be high fly in the air, straightaway center field, and that will do it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error for Wichita. As we hit to the 7th inning, San Antonio has a 1-0 lead against the wind surge. So we'll take a quick break here as Gabriel Gonzalez will lead it off for the wind surge here in this game. It's 1-0 San Antonio. About set to go for the 7th inning here tonight. Right now on the Missions Baseball Network. Gabriel Gonzalez ready to go as we lead off the 7th inning for Wichita. That's going to be high in the air straight away. Center field, Roberts will run it down. Shallow right field to make the play for the out. And that is out number 1. Juan Miguel Mendez at 59% of his four-seamer, which is really good. He's got full confidence of his ball club at his disposal. Billy Amick coming in now as the count now 0-1. And the pitch. That one is a high flyer straight away. Up at right field is Carpathios. And that is out number 2. Will I be doing another live stream after this game? You betcha. Game 5 coming up. And that's the count now 0-1. Saturday night baseball. Our last ever night game before our Sunday game at 1:05. No balls and 1 strike to count. 1-0 Missions here in the top of the 7th inning. And right there called third strike, and they got him. Well, 7th inning stretch here at the ballpark. San Antonio with the lead 1-0. Well, here is Jalen Nowlin as he'll come in. A 4-seam slider, changeup, and a 2-seam fastball. Now pitching for Wichita. Designated hitter is Albert Fabian as he comes in. Bottom of the 7th inning. 6, 7, 8 due up in the half inning for San Antonio. Outside. 4-seam is outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes. So pretty good night here tonight. San Antonio trying to claim a victory after last night's defeat. The wind surge coming a 1-0 victory. Here's a 1-1. That's a swing and a miss, and the count now 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And here's the offering. Swing and a miss. Got him. Just blew it right by him for the out. And so far, it's pretty good on top of that. Rosemond Verdugo coming in now. Ground ball straight away out there and foul. Here is the 0-1 delivery. Ground ball straight away short. In time, and that's out number 2. Well, the left fielder is Kai Murphy as he comes in. 1 for 2 single. Two outs. 1 for 2 tonight by Murphy. And that one is pelted high. Deep to center. Deep, deep, deep. Right there. Caught on the warning track. And that is out number 3. Well, not damage done on that half inning, but could have been a lot worse. Few more inches, and it would have been 2-0 for the Missions. 8th inning coming up, and it is a 1-0 lead for the San Antonio Missions here tonight. Andy Lugo coming in now, top half of the 8th inning, as we welcome you back to the ballpark. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, and that is chopped foul. The count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on this Friday night. That one high in the air, foul, and the count now 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and that is outside. The count now 1-2. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him for the out. And that's the 6th one for San Antonio starter Miguel Mendez. Eileen Culpepper coming in now as he's 1 for 2 of this game, and that's going to be hard hit high in the air straight away. And the center fielder Roberts reaches down, and boy, that ball nearly touched the ground. Boy, just glad it didn't. Now 2 away, and Wichita down to their final 4 outs. The Wind Surge getting their medicine taken here tonight. San Antonio up 1-0. As of last night, Wichita was up 1-0. And right there, strike 2. And they're going to see right where that was, and it will be an overturn. So 1-1 the count. Not the way that all things should go, but don't know how Jeff Andrews missed that call, but he did, most definitely. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. The count now 1-2. All right, 68 pitches. And so far, this could be it for Miguel Mendez after this one. Here's 1-2 offering. Swing and a miss. Got him. Blew it right by him, and that is the inning. No runs, hits, or errors, and nobody on for Wichita as we hit bottom half of the 8th inning. And the Mission's up 1-0. Marcos Castañon coming in now. Set to go, and that's in for a strike. The count now 0-1.
Nope, ball.
That's down and in, and the count now 1-1. 4,520 tonight. One more night game tomorrow for Saturday night baseball. And then Sunday at 1:05 against the Wind Surge. 1-2. That one right there, now to play, foul. And the count now at 1-2. Well, still hanging on in this game. And the pitch. That one is high and outside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that is the count now 2-2. Two-two offering. High in the air, straight away center. And that is out number 1. Clay Dungan, the shortstop coming in, is 0 for 3. It's grounded out in the first inning. This game going by pretty quick. A lot of zeros, except for San Antonio down in the bottom of the 6th inning.
That's a ball.
When that 1 run came across on the error for the Wichita Wind Surge. The 1-0. That's a high pop-up straight away. And that goes to the left fielder for the out. So pretty good right there. That will bring in Kai Roberts. Gerard Wolf coming in now as a 4-seam curveball changeup and a 2-seam fastball. And the manager pulled the other reliever out of the ball game, and so far now they're going to turn off to this right fielder. Right fielder, isn't he a right-hander? Thank you, Bob, for correcting me right there. I appreciate you. Kai Roberts coming in. 1 more out left for San Antonio. That's right there, straight away. Up to first, and in time, that ends the inning. So he's only in for at least 1. And now we'll head to the top half of the 9th inning. And San Antonio out in front by 1. Well, Miguel Mendez is not going to compete in this half inning. So that will bring in Logan Gillespie, as he'll be the ninth inning reliever to come in. So pretty good for the first prospect on the hill. And especially here is Ricardo Olivar. Here's pitch. And that's ground ball straight away. And that is out number one. Well, that's going to bring in Maddox Huden. One for three of the ninth.
Hee-haw!
And that is in for the strike, and the count now at 0-1. 0-1, here's pitch. That one's right there, high in the air, and out of play, foul. And the count now at 0-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. They got him. 2 down and 1 more to go. And San Antonio just an out away from winning this one. And now it'll be an even ball game between the two ball clubs. Thursday night baseball, Wichita wins 1-0. San Antonio tonight could win it 1-0. Here's the 0-1. That one is a flyer, and that is foul. Final strike here tonight. Here's the payoff load home. Swing and a miss. They got him. And our final score, 1-0. What a way to get that going. And that is win number 19 for San Antonio. Man, that is pretty good. It's getting in there, and now San Antonio moving ahead in third place, dropping off Amarillo in fourth, Corpus Christi down in last place. And so far, a pretty good one in this one. Well, we'll have Saturday night baseball coming in at 7:05 on a Saturday evening. So that will be a Saturday makeup game, which is pretty good. There are 2 games left with this Wichita Wind Surge team. One more night game and a day game on Sunday, so that would be pretty good too. Well, anyway, we're just, have a good night. We'll see y'all again in the next one. Safe travels.